Good evening, boys and girls, men and women. We are ready to bring you day number 2 of the second stage of the PEL Contenders Promotionals. I'm Toby, and I have got the pleasure of casting these 4 games for you today. And of course, also the 4 games coming your way tomorrow. As you saw in the leaderboards, interesting things ran down yesterday. When I say interesting, I mean Misi getting over 1,000 more damage than anyone else in the lobby. That's pretty impressive off of just 4 games. And we saw on the list there, some teams had great success, some not so much. I believe it was Persis, Art of War, and also Aurora only amounted to 1 placement point each. Sure, they got them kills with it, but only 1 placement point each throughout all of the games. And yeah, it's going to be interesting today to see how things are going to go down. Seems like Jamaica's not wanting to contest military. They've opted to leave there. And Mini now catching Sirong off guard. Can he catch him off, though, in the vehicle? Let's see. Mini tapping away like a madman. Gets 1 hit in. No vest, no helmet, no nothing. Just 1 more hit should be able to do it. But seems like Sirong might just be able to get away from that. But why not kick things off with a military game? So I'm sure that Meet Jamaica's now sort of thinking back and saying, oh, well, I guess this was not the best idea for us to go there. But one team that is indeed very satisfied with that would be for Angry Kids. They had 2 really, really rough games to start things off. And then Nixty happened. Then Nixty came in and said, guys, you know what, we need to get some good placements these last 2 games. So he got himself over, I believe it was 1,100 damage in the 3rd game with 8 kills or 7 kills. And then they had themselves a pretty good game in the final one as well. So they came back from a slumber start and made the most of that. And now they have the military circle in their advantage. So it seems like they'll be able to carry that momentum from yesterday over to today as well. It's gonna be interesting to follow these teams along. We've seen some of them a lot before in the contenders. We saw Ashtik Warriors that we see on our screen right here. They were part of the first phase of contenders. Wizards were as well. Wizards had some issues, but after the addition of Misha, seems like they have gotten things going their way. They had a really good stage 1, came out on top there, and now also they're seeming to be doing pretty darn good here in stage 2 of the promotionals. Silas and Temporary Name currently sitting in 5th place. They started off yesterday with a 2nd place game followed by a win, and then they kind of fell a little down again, but not a whole lot more than like not further down than anyone should be worried. Still sitting in 5th place. Had a really, really good performance in yesterday's game, so interested to see what they'll be bringing today. Now they do have to go all the way down towards military. And if you guys are wondering, Yannick, haven't I seen these names before? And I'm pretty sure you have if you've been watching like competitive PUBG over the last year, because these guys have both been in the scene for a very long time. Very, very long time. Ben Q getting his rotation game going on alongside the other guys from Art of War. And we talked about them just before, how I talked about them because I'm talking to myself all day long. Talked about them just before, about how they managed to get a lot of kills yesterday, but could not really get a whole lot as far as placements went. So hopefully for them, they'll get that sort of working their way today as we get through these 4 games. There is still, as for those you guys who don't know, 1 more day of games tomorrow. Oh, nice 360, Arthur, good job there. And overall as well, I mean, Ghost Legion, they have been doing good. These Ghost Legion guys, they've fallen down, I guess you can say, into the promotionals, and they had a really, really good stage 1 of that, and now here in stage 2 they have been doing well as well. For those of you guys who don't know exactly how many teams are going to qualify, it is going to be the top 6 from the 2nd stage here. These games we're playing now, top 6 will be making it into the into contenders phase 2. And I guess some might argue that stage 2 will be more interesting than stage 1 was, simply because of the fact that we didn't have any relegations from the Pro League down after stage 1. So even though you were in the top and winning everything and contenders, there was absolutely no teams to be pushed up into Pro League, and vice versa, no teams from Pro League went down into contenders. But for stage 2, there will be. So if you're winning stage 2, if you're doing good here in these promotionals, and you come out guns blazing and do well in contenders as well, who knows? Who knows? A few months from now, you might just find yourself playing with the big boys in Berlin. That could be a huge impressive performance for any of these teams. And who knows? I mean, this could be pretty interesting. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know who is gonna improve and who's gonna falter. So could be that we get to see Ghost Legion in Pro League for phase 3. We never know. We never know exactly what's gonna happen. But what we do know is that all these teams, they do have to make their way pretty far down south. Some of them made their way across already. That would be Oshtek, it seems like, and so did Persis. Persis had a rough time yesterday, currently sitting at the bottom of our leaderboard. But at least now, having made their way over towards the military side of things already, that's at least some sort of a one like tick off on the list of things to do in this game. Get to military game. Tick. Good. What do we do from here? Kill everyone. Okay. Tick. We'll do that next. That's going to be the next task. I mean, always when you have these games. And sure, technically, it could go back over towards the northern side. But every time you have these mill games, honestly, the first task, the main task at hand, is just getting your butt over to that island. Because that is, well, that's something a lot of teams fail to do. Especially when you have teams like Art of War sitting out here, camping their way on forward. They might know that they have Cerebro around the side here. You can see Mini, he's making the run on up with the M4 in hand. He's running on up, but nobody there to be found. Yannick and these driving on down along the west coast as well, trying to see if they can get themselves into a good spot. Are these two guys alone? They might be, I can't really tell. Mini down to low HP, trying to go for the peak over the hilltop, and oh, Andy, that's a nade right on the money. First one gets him knocked, second one not doing any damage, and of course it is the first knock, so no finishes coming in just yet. But that is not the kind of start you would have wanted here. That one should be the... Nope, not gonna happen either. Not gonna happen either. There's a chance here. There's a chance here. Don't stress over the res on towards Andy. It is only res number 1. He's trying to crawl down, but Zero saying nope. But now on the other side here comes Memo. Do not take down my friend. I will start shooting at you, and they do. Andy does go down in the end though, and Tony now getting knocked by Mini as well. Great connected shots with the SLR there. Memo taken down too. So despite the fact that Art of War made it over towards the other side, now it's only Ben Q up by himself. Might be able to get the rest on up to Tony. He has the vehicle for cover. But we saw Mini land some great shots just before. If you could do anything similar here, that could be rest in pepperonis for Art of War. And it's gonna be Black to take down the first one. Now it's Ben, he's all by himself. Ooh, good knock coming in on towards Mini. M24 to the chest, it has been buffed. Nade's thrown down towards that vehicle as well. Ghost Legion eliminated here, okay. That Nade got trapped up by the Leaves of Immortality. One more smoke thrown over towards the vehicle. So you don't want to lose any players here. They've played it well so far. They got down 3. They almost had the whole team wipe. But Mini all by himself now, trying to crawl on back through those smokes. And shots coming in from other angles now as well. From far further down, shots are coming in up through the smoke. You see Sniffle and Northwest sitting far down, 4AK, doing a lot of damage. Wizards, they're coming in late from north, Arsenal-y, and Oshtek, they're far out on the eastern side. Oh, is it Oshtek Arsenal? No, it's not. It's not. Black spraying on through the smoke, wants to see if he can get something done here, but seems like somehow Art of War are able to get out of this one with 2 guys alive. That's rather impressive. Now, fortunately, I guess it's both fortunately and unfortunately, but fortunately the circle went east, so there's no real reason for Cerebro to start chasing them down, because they have to make their way east as well. No, not really any reason for them to start taking these confrontations, because they know there are going to be so many more teams you have to fight when you make their way further over east side of the island. And you're in a spot now with your 3 guys alive, and you have a chance to drive on up, but Wizards and Riddle, they're They're playing bumper cars here. I like that. That's pretty entertaining. T-Bone falls down on his chest, trying to make the run back towards his vehicle. Henny Bro, nice ankle up here. Oh, that's gonna be Henny Bro taking one shot to the chest. One is forced into the vehicle, and there you go. Headshot coming in from Henny Bro, and Arrows goes down. T-Bone got knocked before. They were the ones who engaged it. Wizards were the ones who slammed into Riddle. I think, and this is actually, I mean, even if it's the other way around, extremely well played by Riddle. They had two guys out in the field, two guys in the open. And they knew that they had Handy Bro uphill with sort of an off angle with a great overview. So could they force the fights? Could they force the Wizards players down behind those vehicles and stand still for just that split second? Handy Bro and alongside Clip as well, actually, with the bolt actions. They are two of those players, at least for Riddle, that will land those shots when they have to. So great headshot coming in on towards Arrows. Should be the finish off we saw just before. And T-Bone gone down as well. So Misa now, despite being a heavy damage leader coming into today, not off to the best start here in game number 5 overall. O'Connell trying to go down and get into the vehicle. Gotta get out of here. Just want to get out. Just want to get right out of here. And that's exactly what they're doing. Oh, such a good song. Houston trying to get over. Cerebro. Somehow, nobody from Swamp gets knocked. That's interesting. There were 3 guys sitting there holding the ankle, and they didn't really manage to get anything off of that. So now they have to run back once again because they saw what happened before, and well, I mean now they have to run off. So no kills coming in there. O'Connell and Misa somehow still alive, but they will have to find out how in the hell they're planning on crossing here. I'm not sure that there are any boats available out here. There are 4 spawns on this side, so it could be, if they're lucky, that there is a boat, but not right there. Not right there. Where is the closest boat? Where is the closest boat? Are there any boats? Oh, we saw a US on the ground over there as well, so so unlikely. Circles coming close and on in. Gonna go up north once more. Dictate and Outlaws. Company from Oshtek have made their way over towards the eastern side of the island. They're still in the blue, but they're making their way in, and we've already lost 13 players. So pretty chaotic early game here. But surprisingly few fights actually happening on the bridges. We saw Art of War take 2 casualties, but other than that, not a whole lot more. Everything has been kind of out in the open and just rotation kills overall. Annibro driving on in. We got all of Swamp crossing over. They realized that the Cerebro made their way further east, so they would move accordingly as well. Makes perfect sense. Oshtek finally inside the circle, and they're only just getting inside because now they have to make the rotation again. The circle did swing back somewhat west. We saw it on the corner of the minimap just before. So after going out towards the eastern side of the island, goes back a little further west. LXG, they won the first game yesterday. LXG got themselves 1 win, but not a whole lot came off after that. So we're watching them as they spin their way down the hill here, trying to make their way towards the circle. Swarm starting to get in on the engagements. Drone long range tapping down towards the military side of things, and now LXG driving up towards the military compound here, or the communications building, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, Test falls down on his chest. Can't do a whole lot from behind that broken wall. Needs the help from his friends. Amorous is on the left side, and they have 4 guys alive. Tony and Ben Q. They are living life dangerously because they're not inside the circle yet, and they have to find their way in, it would seem. Should they want to have any sort of chance of getting on in there. Riddle, they've made their way over. They only lost 1 guy, I believe, if even. And Test is just crawling alongside the fence, trying to see if he can get on through. There's going to be a little bit of a hole in the fence, and you can see Tony is jumping around on the side. He wants to get the angle. Does he spot him? Oh, that's one taken by the pan, but he gets up on his feet. Not going to be fast enough, though. Test goes down, and that should be him finish off as well. So at least some points guaranteed for Art of War. despite them losing 2 players early on. And seems to me like Vanconas will just continue their run on in towards the circle center, or at least closer towards it. They are on the wrong side of things over here, but there should be possible. Circle goes a bit north. You can see it on the bottom side, bottom east side of your minimap. 4x MK full level 3, pretty decent crate. MK is a beast of a weapon, and it would be useful for teams to have it here as well. Aztec Warriors make that. And Outlaw caught up on the mountainside, and sure, this is not the worst situation because they're sitting pretty well in it here, but with phase 3 closing in and Riddle shooting up towards them, this is not going to be an easy escape whatsoever. Temporary name, Yannick and D's crossing on over, but both of them going down immediately after. Nemrith needs to come up to help. Silas is there, but they're not really in a position to do a whole lot. Misa O'Connell both taken down by Aaliyah. Great job there, fighting on 2 fronts. So Aaliyah securing the kills down on the beach, while Broken and Talk helps out on top, but Broken now taken down from Mini. So fights happening on all fronts, and Meet Jamaica's running it over. We've seen that happen too many times before. Hopefully they'll stop doing that soon, and you can look at this position from Hashtag. They finally made it over to the military island, and now they're under pressure from so many different angles. Yeah, for those of you guys wondering, I have a clean feed that I'm casting off of, so I'm not the one in control of the observing. What I can do is that if you have any feedback, then that can be provided to the observers. Talk taken down. Nemrith pushing on up. They lost these just before. Broken is down behind the tree here. It's low HP too. It's gonna be a tricky angle for him to really do anything from. Smokes are fading out, fading away. Broken, he's holding the angle. He's all by himself, and he spots out Silas too. Yannick gets finished off by Tog as well. And all of a sudden, what seemed like a good sort of engage from Temporary Name, they actually lose 2 players on this one. I'm not sure, since we are in phase 4 now, if Silas will be able to get the rest on up. Nope, it's not going to be possible. It's too much damage. 3 ticks per... 4... No, wait. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3 ticks per... 3 damage per tick is too much for him to heal through should he wants to try and get a first aid off. BenQ gets himself 1. Goes down in return though, and Tony now all by himself again. It's really dangerous area to fight in. 1 more tick and Ben would have been down. Northwest crawling on in here as well, and Vincona's down in all kinds of trouble. That nade could be on the money. Oh, just bounces off to the wrong side. Had it gone down, Ben would probably have been down once more. Good headshot connected by Amorous. Aaliyah now taken down. We've seen Swarm fight ever since they came over the to the other side. They've just been fighting. Tony and Ben, they've been alone for a while. And they're trying to find anywhere to call home inside this military base. But there's so many teams around here. You can see it on the overview. There's so many players around that they have to deal with. Then it's all Moon and Zero, and they're making the run on up. Have a pretty good position here with plenty of vision. 4AK as well. I mean, they landed military, and they've decided to split around the silos. Circle has gone north and somewhat out of the military base once more. But it's not gonna be easy for these teams trying to make their way in. Broken still alive, all by himself. Aztec finished off there finally. That's gonna be them out in 14th place. You can see Broken all by himself in the blue as well, trying to tank through this. And they're, well, I mean, hoping that the more time spent in the blue, the less teams will be starting to turn around and looking out for him. Cotton taken down. Amorous might be able to get the rest up here, but just exactly in the blue. That's an unfortunate position for him to be in. In phase 5, you know what's gonna happen. They all go down. Temporary name taken out as well. Nemrith down in 12th, make that 13th place. Cotton goes down, and Amorous as well. Tried to get the meds on up, but not gonna happen. Mini getting knocked by the blue here as well. And Broken still inside the circle, has to continue sprinting on forward. Ben goes down. Tony in the blue, tries to go in the corner, might want to close that door. Yep, smart move. Close. Hopefully that wasn't a nade. Oh, I was like, oh, no. Couldn't tell if it wasn't a nade. Or Smoke was like, oh, please don't be a nade. Please don't be a nade for the sake of them. That would have been absolutely horrible. Broken still in the blue. He's been running out there for a while. And now he's running straight into the remaining few players. Now he's actually shooting from the open, but he goes down to the blue. So not a whole lot more to it than that. Quizzy taking down LXG, taking casualties. You can see their positioning. They're caught by the vehicles, and you need to get Mikhailovic or his teammates to get some knocks down towards huge potential. They need to do something to force them back down behind those trees, because as long as they can just sit and look down towards the spot at which these guys are, it's gonna be practically impossible for them to get anywhere up that hill. The more time they waste, the more they push up. And look at that, Zerong and Moon, both with crate weapons. AUG and an MK14, they can apply so much pressure from a distance down towards them. And they need to get that one knock, but we know that if we have 2 level 3 weapons, or crate weapons, most likely they're also 2 level 3 helmets. So despite having a Kar 98, you need to do some more than just that in order to get anything done. Could try and run back, but as you can see, there's another team considering joining in on the fun. Riddle, they're sitting on the other side, so as much as they probably would want to push back down north where they came from, it's not really going to be possible. Moon gets himself the knock onto Mikhailovic. Black now making the run on up. He's by himself. Actually not, he has IPG next to him. Ronnie missing a spray down. Swaps over to the M4, or to the Mini, but they're not able to get him down there either. Vehicles exploded, and as you can see once again, Sneaky has a good position up there. He just needs to apply some more pressure. Now they are coming over the side. It's too late. It's too late. They simply spent too much time down there, and there's going to be 2 players down. One more should be going down in just a moment as well. Black taking down that nade just a bit too far. Sneaky lives to see at least another 5 to 10 seconds of this game. Black going for the rest. Ronnie is sneaky peekily making his way up forward. Nixty goes down in the blue. And Ronnie, either you commit to this and you push, or you don't. Now he's been hurt. Black might have hurt him, and he gets him spotted out too. And despite the fact that 4 angry kids landed on military, they do end up going down in 6th place. 5th place to follow immediately after is going to be Black and IPG taken out. And now we see personal courage. I mean, they haven't really been active. We haven't seen them a whole lot in the kill feed so far. But now they're here. Now they're here. And they're ready to fight. Still 3 guys alive on that team. As the circle goes more center up towards the yellow houses. Riddle on the edge. Have a chance to make a play here. Aurora. Aurora. That's always a funny name to say. Aurora. 4 guys alive. Good positioning. Sitting pretty well in it. We can make us 3 guys alive on the north as well. So despite having 18 guys alive, we are down to just 5 teams. A lot of players in each team. You see it right here. 2 make that 3 4-man teams and 2 3-man teams. That is not something you see very often in a game like this. Not very often. You see a military game and with 3 squads with 4 alive and 2 trios. That is actually rather unusual. That nade is gonna be golden. Shisho somehow not taken down. Nades, they are magic to me sometimes. They are very, very magic to me in the sense that you don't really know what's gonna happen when you throw them. Either you get the knock from far away, or they land on their feet and they don't explode. It's very interesting. Riddle making the run on up. Every single step they can get and move on forward, they need to take, as they're just now making their way inside the circle. Roar, they know they're around here. They know they're nearby, and they need to hold them off. Hannibro with this first knock to engage the fight. Sharaz taken down, at least down to half on his knock meter. And look at the north. Look at the north. Look who's coming into third party. It's Meet Jamaicas. They are really good when it comes to sort of picking and choosing when to engage and when to disengage. Now they have a chance to get a perfect third party opportunity here. Shisho goes down and Tense with the knock there. Spray comes in as well, wants to get the flush. And Aurora retaliating a bit, taking down 1 player from Riddle. Clip goes down as well, so it's just Simpson. I mean, it's just Yordale remaining actually at this point. Yordale down 2. Lament with the double. Simpson just tapping like a crazy person through the smoke. Wants to see if he can apply the damage needed, but not gonna happen. Treated goes down from Denettoa. Now we have all 4 remaining teams engaging in fights with one another while the circle is closing on in. This could be a hectic finish off to the game. You see huge potential. They've made their runoff from the from the southern spot they had to try and see if they can contain some people up here. But now they might have gotten a bit too overly aggressive because we got another team trying to third party. We got a fourth party in all of this. We got Personal and Courage coming from even further away trying to spray through. Holy cow, Lemon, is there smoke there or not? Because you were tapping those people right on the money. Could be a spectator issue that the smoke had fainted already. Meet Jamaica's. The 4 guys up. They got to third party. They got themselves 2 kills off of that. Huge potential now. Down to 2 players. They lost Denethor just before, and that was the entire flank. That was the only guy they had behind that really had a chance to hold off anything. Now they caught down behind the same ridge that Riddle was sitting by just before. And, well, I mean, they have to slowly make their way on forward. They know there's a 4-man team or something close to it in Meet Jamaica's. And they saw a couple of players coming up from Personal Courage as well. So they know they're outnumbered. And they do not want to go up and do anything overly aggressive here. Issue for them being that, as you can see, Meet Jamaica's, they have the eastern side of the new circle, and it's going to be so tricky for them to really get anything their way. Flowy, but it's 2 players trying to do the math here. How many do we have left? Okay, so we have 2 guys there. That's going to be 2 more random guys. 2 guys at which position we do not know. Where Zero gets down a spray alongside the help from Moon. Good job by them. Flowy taken down. But now the push is gonna come up, and it's gonna go straight into Roopsy and Meet Jamaica's. 1 spotted out. Second player spotted out immediately after. Zero gets down 1. Down to 39 SP, and he swaps over just at the wrong time, and that's gonna be huge potential eliminated. Roopsy and Flowy both down. 6 kills so far for Meet Jamaica's. Would be a great game for them to win. Normally you'd say, oh, it's easy for Meet Jamaica's because they're a military team anyway. But nope, they did not land down here in this game. They ended up going up towards their second pick because the plane wasn't really favoring them jumping down here. Woohoo! Copest, he will abuse you if you stand still for too long, and that is going to be the winner chicken dinner.